The broadcast did not begin with Howard Stern speaking. Instead, it opened with an archived recording of Donald Trump complimenting his daughter Ivanka's appearance. As the date, January 2003, appeared on the studio screen, Stern allowed the clip to play in full before saying a single word.
What happened? He got terminated? I used to do a show, we used to have fun, but I haven't heard that name in a long time. You know when he went down? When he endorsed Hillary Clinton. He lost his audience.
We'll be back on the air live. I've been refueling, so to speak.
Do you ever discuss sex with your daughter?
No.
You do not?
No.
You've never
I have a feeling we're not going to hear.
Yeah, no.
You know about sexual predators and things like that. I mean,
You are one.
We're going to say that. But, it's true.
Her is beautiful, Ivanka.
By the way, your daughter,
She's beautiful.
can I say this? A piece of,
Yeah.
The last couple of years, I go out with somebody, and she's like 21, and she's talking about, what are you doing? Studying algebra.
So what?
And it's like, it was always embarrassing for me to walk in. It's too young. 30 is like a perfect age.
Absolutely. She has enough life experience. She's 35. That's too much.
I'd say, Mr. Trump, tell me, who are the great beauties? If I ask you some names, can you tell me who the great beauties are? He goes, first of all, straight face. The great beauties, Howard, are not actresses. It's models, and a lot of these girls who work in the, anyone who works in the entertainment industry, really, I've only seen 6s and 7s.
Including his wife, Melania.
she must be terrific in bed.
She is terrific in bed. Now, she wouldn't want me to say that.
She had the height, she had the beauty, she had the skin, the whole thing. She's crazy, but, these are minor details.
Never thought she was good looking, but I don't think she's got good skin. I don't think she's got a great face. I think her lips are too big, to be honest with you. They look like too big.
Too much life experience.
What is it at 35, Howard? It's called checkout time.
And you're probably, I would say, the greatest judge of beauty on this planet. In fact, I would create a TV show for you where all you did was just judge women.
Now, that may be the best idea of all.
It's a simple thing. It's a half hour, and we strip it out all over the
I would
country.
say I'm the all-time judge.
Donald, I think Angelina Jolie is a great beauty. 7. Really? What? Well, come on. He goes, you know who's a great beauty? I go, who? He goes, my daughter, Ivanka. Now, she's a 10. And so we'd have these discussions.
Oh, my.
And, of course, with the internet now, all these tapes are out there, and they're still using them on a constant.
When the first recording ended, Stern immediately played another archived exchange involving Melania Trump, followed by a 2006 interview in which questions about Ivanka's personal life became part of the discussion. At the time, Trump had treated those conversations as lighthearted entertainment. Years later, however, the same recordings were being revisited as a public record that could no longer be reshaped or explained away. The atmosphere inside the studio noticeably changed. The audience, which had been lively moments earlier, fell almost completely silent as Stern reminded everyone that none of the material had been hidden. Trump had appeared on The Howard Stern Show many times between the 1990s and 2015, speaking openly about politics, business, relationships, Melania, and Ivanka, with a level of candor that took on a different meaning after he became president. Expecting what many assumed would be a friendly conversation reflecting on their long history together, Trump instead found himself facing a difficult question. Stern asked why someone who frequently demanded respect and privacy for his family had willingly participated in public conversations that focused so heavily on the appearance and private lives of the women closest to him. Trump responded by saying those interviews belonged to a different era, arguing that radio was much edgier at the time and that audiences understood the style and humor of the program. Rather than debating whether broadcasting standards had changed, Stern simply returned to the recordings. One archived interview featured Trump describing Melania as beautiful, intelligent, and soft-spoken. Yet other segments gradually shifted into far more personal territory, with intimate questions placing her in an awkward public spotlight. Conversations involving Ivanka often centered on her appearance and physical attractiveness. While Stern sometimes pushed the discussion further, Trump occasionally objected, but in other moments he laughed along, answered the questions, or continued the conversation himself. That inconsistency became increasingly difficult to ignore. Over the years, Trump had repeatedly criticized journalists, comedians, and political opponents whenever they mentioned members of his family. He argued that attacks on Melania were unfair and insisted his children deserved privacy and respect. Many people viewed those arguments as reasonable. The difficulty, however, was that the archive appeared to show Trump participating in, and at times encouraging, the same type of public attention that he would later condemn. To highlight the contrast, Stern displayed two statements side by side. One featured Trump calling for privacy and respect for his family. The other was accompanied by recordings from interviews in which Trump himself took part in conversations, inviting millions of listeners to evaluate Melania and Ivanka on a deeply personal level. Trump's demeanor quickly changed. He accused Stern of betraying their friendship and argued that their long relationship should have prevented those recordings from being used in that way. Stern's reply was brief but pointed. He reminded Trump that the interviews had never been private conversations between friends. They had been broadcast publicly to millions of listeners. That distinction mattered. A private comment can sometimes be misunderstood or taken out of context. A series of public interviews, recorded over many years and voluntarily shared with a national audience, becomes part of a broader public record. The recordings could not reveal Trump's private thoughts or personal feelings toward his wife or daughter. What they did document was the language he chose, the conversations he participated in, and the subjects he was willing to discuss when the spotlight was on him. For many longtime viewers, the segment ultimately raised a broader question, not simply about old radio interviews, but about consistency, public accountability, and the difference between the standards people demand from others and the standards they apply to themselves.